What is good, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Chad, bringing y'all another video, man. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how good it means. Well, not how good it means, but how good it must feel to be a criminal in this day and age, right? So if you've even just looked at the news, you see that lootings are happening. There's a lot of lootings in San Francisco. People just running in the stores, Christmas shopping, not paying for anything. Santa came early. They're just taking anything they want, doing anything they want.
Videos posted on social media show a night that turned out of control in Union Square. The Louis Vuitton store looted, people running away with as much merchandise as they could carry.
This Hayes Valley Walgreens, located on Gough Street, is one of 5 closing in San Francisco next month. Walgreens is blaming the rising cost of organized retail crime.
You need to go, man. You need to leave the store.
This kind of brazen shoplifting at a San Francisco Walgreens is just one example of a trend that's forcing the chain to close stores permanently.
Yeah, we have some eye-opening new numbers about San Francisco's car break-in epidemic.
It's a problem that's gotten so bad. Listen to what tourists are being told.
We're visiting from Tampa, Florida, and we were told it would be best not to rent a car because of there was a lot of break-ins. Like if they see a purse, something small, anything, they will break the window and grab it and go.
Well, that tourist took the advice. Others are not so lucky, as we've seen over and over again.
They want to know from the city what exactly is happening. Witnesses caught this smash and grab involving a black Mercedes near Pier 39 in late October. The victim, who was visiting from Miami, told me he and his friend lost $8,000 worth of photography and hiking gear. More than a week later, 2 burglars in a black Mercedes are seen in Fisherman's Wharf, pulling off a smash and grab. The victim told me her family stopped to ride the cable car. A worker is seen watching the crime in progress.
There are no consequences for it. I see the same thing happening in Chicago. It's lots of crime happening in New York. It's just crime everywhere. Now, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's a lot of crime happening and it's not anything being done. But the same places where these crimes are happening, they were shouting, defund the police. Police are bad, for like all last year. And now they're just like, we need help. The city's going crazy. I don't feel safe. You now have liberals and people who don't believe in guns going out and buying guns to protect themselves. Now, if you were someone who cared about your rights, you would have had a gun. So this would have been no new story. But I'm just looking, I'm just like, man, it's crazy that these defund the police people are looking for some police type help when their cities are being, trashed 24/7, which is honestly kind of crazy. I don't know why my thing keeps falling, but that's besides the point. And so it's just gotten out of control. Crime is just running rampant. The prosecutors won't prosecute the criminals. Criminals have no incentive to stop committing crimes. They say, oh, when we lock them up, just give them a fine, send them back on out there in the real world. And this is what we have, crime-infested areas. And like I said, it's happening in LA, San Francisco, Chicago. These politicians are saying, oh, this is not happening. Like, what is her name? Andrea Cortez, whatever, AOC. We all know her as AOC. She said, no, these lootings are not happening. You guys are making this up. The statistics and data don't show. And like I said in a previous video, how are you going to tell people statistics and data don't show that crime has increased when they're literally watching people break in broad day?
2 burglars in a black Mercedes are seen in Fisherman's Wharf, pulling off a smash and grab. The victim told me her family stopped to ride the cable car. A worker is seen watching the crime in progress.
It's like the news. It's like an area that you live. Just imagine you live in an area and you go to your local store. Someone breaks into the store and steals stuff on Monday. They do the same Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And not at night. They do it during broad daylight. And then you see your local politician who's in your area say, that's not happening. The statistics don't show people are robbing stores. So they're telling you don't believe what your eyes see or what your ears hear. Sounds like 1984. Then you even have Lori Lightfoot, who says, no, crime is the lowest it's ever been. crime is so low, it doesn't even matter. Crime is low.
Chaos everywhere. And the fact of the matter is, sir, which you also didn't point out, but I will, so we get this straight, is that we're actually seeing a decline in homicides and shootings. Yes, sir.
Sir, we are done.
Sir. Okay.
Here's my question. Here's my follow-up question.
We're done. No. Let him ask his follow-up question so he doesn't claim that somehow we're being biased and slighting the guy from Newsmax. Please, sir, it's 6:30 going on 7. Ask your follow-up question.
Well, my follow-up question is simply this. Many residents in Chicago feel that you've lost control of the city. Now it appears as though you've lost control of the Chicago City Council. Do you owe an apology to the victims of violent crime, the thousands of unsolved shootings and murders and stabbings and random stabbings in the downtown and the south side and the north side and the west side? Do you owe these people any apology?
So once again, sir, I ask you to get your facts right. Crime is not out of control in our city. In fact, crime is on the decline. All of our major indices showed the decline in crime, and our homicides and our shootings year over year are down. That's a fact, sir.
But then she comes out saying, oh, I'm going to deny the help that Trump tried to send us for this crime. And, I'm going to ask for more money from Biden and them to fund black and brown communities. Now, if your black and brown communities are constantly being robbed and people are constantly, let's say, taking all your stuff from your area, why would you want, as a mayor, to be funded for black and brown communities that are just going to constantly... It's like I take money and I throw it at an issue, but then they take the money from the issue to keep causing and creating the issue. I'm sorry if that's a bad analogy, but how are you going to throw money at black and brown communities when they're being robbed of those resources that money's being used for, but you're still asking for it? What they need is help in these communities. They need crime to stop. They need all of this. And it's even come out now that, one of Mayor Lightfoot's, I'm using my new Mac here. I just ordered a new Mac for Christmas. I was like, I got to step up my videos. You guys want videos? I give you videos. But it's even come out now that, the police chief or let me see what the name of him is, Chicago police dispatcher, is like, the reason this is all happening is because of Lori Lightfoot. And I'll try to insert a little clip so you guys can see.
Going on. So much nonsense going on. No matter where you go throughout the world, I travel everywhere. I love to go places. Okay, Philippines, this place, that place. When you say Chicago, people are afraid. It's like it's a death zone. And I'd always be the one to stand up for my city and say, no, it's not like that. You have to visit. But it's quickly turning into a death zone. All right. So within this death zone of a city, you now have politicians, specifically the mayor. You have the superintendent of police, who I have nothing negative against. However, I believe his hands are tied and he can't do his job effectively. So you can't stand up and do your job appropriately because someone's tying your hands, which is the mayor, and I get that. She's a bully. Well, then we're screwed, because then it's just a trickle effect all the way down to the people who are leading these police stations, and we have nothing to work with. We're not talking about West Side today. We're not talking about South Side. We all know about those areas as well. Blacks, Latinos, no one really gives a shit about them anyhow. Okay? That's just how it is. I'm one of them, okay? But today we're talking about the northwest side of Chicago. And this was brought to my attention by several of my officers who've texted me, okay, and said that they were scared. They're tired of this nonsense. They have no backing, and they're scared of being out there by themselves. And then your mayor has the audacity to start stripping officers and say, you know what? Go home, give me everything. Oh, well, you're not allowed to come to work because I gave you a mandate to do this and to report back to me your COVID status. Many of them haven't. So she's stripping officers. So we're in this shithole already, and then she's stripping officers. I'm out here. Any of you need me or want me, I'm out here. The people in this area are out here. But if I don't hear a voice from whomever that's supposed to be in this local community, then you're going to have to hear my voice. because I'm tired of people stepping on wonderful people within this city, within these neighborhoods, who bust their ass, going to work, doing what they do, keeping it clean, and just trying to live a nice life, and they can't. Because you guys are allowing this lady to be the police superintendent. She's taking away resources and manpower and saying, F you and your constituents. I'm not giving you shit. F the officers up there. Split them and make them 99 cars to go by themselves. And if something happens, I'll go on the news several days later and act like I gave a shit and say I'm sorry for the loss to this such and such family. It's bullshit. And the whole spiel, guys, of them coming on the news all the time saying robberies are down, shootings are down, carjackings are down, burglaries are down, home invasions are down, stabbings are down, all of that nonsense, it's all garbage. It's all a lie. All of it is a lie, and that's throughout the city. It's a lie. Believe that shit if you want. It's a lie. And it's popping off on the west side. It's popping off south side. Downtown is blowing up as well. But up here, where I'm at, where I've grown up, where I have many friends, it's not good. And I'm not going to let my voice go unnoticed. This city is burning. And either I can let it burn, either you guys can let it burn, or we can stand up, do something about it, and get burned.
He's like, Lori Lightfoot, her city, not even her city, her constituents did not vote for this. We're asking for help. She won't give us help. She is the worst mayor. She is the one causing this issue to happen. And you know what's crazy? When people start to finally wake up and realize 1 + 1 = 2, it has always been the politicians. Now, at this rate, you would think that people would be like, maybe the people I voted for aren't the right individuals for office. After all these years, what have they done for me? When I sit back and I think about, when I vote for people, me personally, Chad, when I vote for people, I go by what have they done for me? Every time I look at Democrats or progressives or liberals, they do nothing for me. They tell me what you see is not what you see. What you hear is not what you hear. What's happening in front of you is not really what's happening. This is not really what it looks. This is not an iPhone. This is an Android, and you need to believe us. If you don't, then you're a white supremacist who's black. It doesn't matter what else they call me. It's just like, at some point people have to wake up and realize that these people do not like you. They are only in power for money, power, control, money. Honestly, the list probably goes money, 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 power, control. Because literally that's all they want. How are you going to solve a increased crime problem by funding black and brown communities that are being affected by the crime? How are you going to say, you know what? Because we're so sorry that these certain types of people are being locked up, we're not going to prosecute any petty thefts, which would be like stealing and stuff. Anything below $1,000, we're not going to prosecute. And then you have people who are big time criminals robbing places saying, don't do that again. Don't you dare rob that store again. And they go right back out there and rob the store again. And it's like, do y'all not see what y'all voted for? Y'all voted, and people say, no, it's not who I voted for. It's not. And people hate to admit when they've been lied to or they've been duped, but you've been duped. You voted for the people, the mayors and the politicians who created the laws for these prosecutors not to prosecute anybody, which results in the criminals to further commit crime. If there's no punishment for committing crimes, don't you think people would commit more crimes? If there's no punishment for someone committing murder, don't you think there would be more murders? Because at that point, you can get away with it. No one's going to say, well, since they're not punishing us from stealing stores, I'm going to do the right thing and not steal. No, they're going to go, I'm about to steal some stuff because I know I'm not going to get in trouble or get caught from it. And as crazy as that is, it is what it is. But yeah, man, you know, as we approach 2022 and we just look at, like, this crime is just out of control. You know, I feel sorry for the people who live in those areas like Chicago, New York, California, that didn't vote for these people in office and are getting the short end of the stick when it comes to this increased crime. But I don't feel sorry for the people who voted for these people saying, I wish they would do what we ask, and they never do. Because at that point, you're just voting for no reason. You're just voting these people into power so they could just stay power hungry, money hungry, everything. But yeah, man, that's just what I've seen from my, you know, own personal opinions and experience just watching all this debacle. You know, like I said, you know, it's gotten out of control. The people who you guys vote for, you know, if you live in those areas, you know, maybe you need to reconsider your votes. Because nothing's being done about it, and there are people who are upset and speaking out about it. But don't let any of these politicians or mayors or Lori or AOC try to 1984 you and say, you know, what you see is not what you see and what you hear is not what you hear. But anyways, man, this has been your boy Chad. I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, yeah, peace.